More than a year has passed. We still do not have treatments that can knock out the virus. For now, doctors are using old medicines, repurposing old drugs and steroids. And for most patients, they work. But since last year, one method of treatment has got way more attention than it deserves. It is called the plasma therapy. When the pandemic began, convalescent plasma therapy, or simply plasma therapy, seemed like a silver bullet. What does it mean? What is this therapy? It's basically using blood plasma from recovered patients and infusing it into newly infected patients. So if you have recovered, your blood plasma will be injected in a new patient. How does it help? It is believed that with plasma, you also transfer antibodies. And these antibodies from recovered patients to new patients are supposed to boost the immune response of the new patients. As a concept, this sounds like a promising one. But does it work? There is growing evidence now that it doesn't. And yet, it is widely being prescribed in India. In fact, there's a frenzy around this. Families are running from pillar to post for plasma of recovered patients for their loved ones. Social media is filled with appeals for help. Techies are building tools to connect patients with donors. Everyone is being urged to donate plasma. But experts are concerned. 18 clinicians, public health professionals and scientists have written a letter. It's on your screen now. The letter is addressed to Professor K. Vijayaraghavan, the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India. These experts say that India should stop using plasma therapy. The reason they give is this. I'm quoting, current research evidence unanimously indicates that there is no benefit offered by convalescent plasma. What is this research evidence that they're talking about? That too is part of the letter. In the United Kingdom, a trial was conducted with more than 11,000 patients. They were given plasma therapy. It made no difference. 11,000. Another trial was conducted in Argentina. It was a randomized trial. Half of the patients were given blood plasma. Others got a placebo. Again, it made no difference. India has conducted its own studies. And these studies were backed by the Indian Council of Medical Research, or ICMR. The studies involved 39 public and private hospitals, and this is what they found. Whether it was patient mortality or disease progression, blood plasma made no difference. Despite all of these findings, doctors are widely prescribing blood plasma across hospitals in India. Why are they doing this? Perhaps because they're desperate. They want to try every treatment that's available. But can this trial and error method be dangerous? We spoke to Professor Vivekananda Jha. He is one of the experts who signed this letter, and he says that unchecked use of plasma could lead to more problems. It could potentially give birth to newer variants of the virus, and they could be more infectious.
We say this because not only that it doesn't work, it can lead to a number of harms as well. So one of the harms that people have worried about is its potential to promote the development of mutant viruses, which may be even worse than the current virus. The second is it is costly. Third is people often undertake really arduous journey, long, several hundred kilometers of travel just to donate plasma because they think it might be useful.
Last year, the Infectious Diseases Society of America made a recommendation. It said plasma should only be used in a clinical trial and not on hospitalized patients. In January this year, Britain halted a study on plasma because there was no strong evidence of benefits. So there's mounting evidence that blood plasma does not help. Yet not only do doctors prescribe it, authorities are running campaigns to encourage plasma donations. Why are they doing it? Because it is still part of India's treatment protocol. The ICMR issues guidelines for doctors around India. Here is what it looks like. A list of what doctors can do for infected patients, which medicines can be prescribed, when should a patient be hospitalized, when should remdesivir be administered, and so on. These are guidelines, and these guidelines still recommend the use of blood plasma, and that's what doctors follow. Even at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, or AIIMS, blood plasma is part of the treatment protocol for patients who have been sick for 3 to 7 days, who show mild to moderate symptoms and are likely to be hospitalized.
In those group of patients, that plasma therapy may have a role to play, and it is being there. Therefore, it is also within the guidelines and national guidelines, in the ICMR guidelines, and also we have our AIMS protocol where we have this blessed spot, which is mild to moderate. Those patients getting hospitalized who are not very severely ill and who are immunocompromised or in the elderly group of patients.
So not everyone can be given blood plasma. It is for patients whose condition is expected to worsen. They're given plasma therapy within 7 days of the onset of symptoms, not after that. How many patients in India fit this category? There are no official numbers, but anecdotal evidence suggests that such patients make up around 10% of India's caseload.
If you have nearly 70% or 80% of patients who would remain mild, who would be in home isolation, who can be well treated at home, this is not indicated. And then you have that severe patients who go on to a ventilator status, who crash, who have very bad outcome, who are there with severe COVID pneumonia and are on ventilators. It's not there. So therefore, you have the middle. So what is the percentage? Probably 10% of the whole group of patients who are with COVID.
So in conclusion, bulk of the patients do not need blood plasma. And even if they get it, it may not help. On the contrary, blood plasma can lead to serious problems. It can give birth to new and infectious variants. But doctors continue to prescribe it, forcing distressed families to go on a hunt for a cure that doesn't work, that may not work. Governments, civil society groups, and now even courts are looking for ways to collect more plasma. On Tuesday, the Delhi High Court had a suggestion to make to the Delhi government. The judges said that they should chase recovered celebrities and ask them to donate plasma and encourage them to issue a statement asking others to donate. So here's a question. Is blood plasma our only option? Experts say that the medicines and steroids currently in use, along with supplemental oxygen, are good enough. And in the long run, vaccines are the only exit strategy.
As I said, making all effort for education and for behavior of the public, it's very important. Second, I think any help from the world with oxygen is essential. And I think the third one is any vaccine is better than no vaccine. That's the rule. So if you don't get Pfizer, take whatever is there. Any vaccination will change the dynamic. Even vaccination that we know that they are better, it doesn't matter. In a level of a country, you have to vaccinate as much as possible. Even one shot is better than nothing. So it's really on vaccination and oxygen, all the rest and behavior.
Medicines, oxygen, vaccines. This is what India needs to crush the second wave. Medical authorities and governments should focus on ensuring their supply and stop the hunt for plasma. And it seems like India may be changing its mind already, because reports now say that the ICMR might meet soon to review the use of blood plasma. We'll be tracking that for you. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.